Claudia.
Yeah, Fred, well, the number of people who provided tips that led to rewards is relatively small. It matters in the justice system. Families of murder victims tell us that they're grateful for the people who came forward with information because it didn't just give them closure, but justice. After Rodney Hargrove was shot and killed, leaving the city jail in 2021, Philly detectives were trying to piece together who killed him. Then this tipster, whose identity we are concealing, called police with a bombshell.
4 people that got murdered in separate times by a serial killer.
And you knew who the killer was?
I knew who the killer was. I provided police with information.
Hargrove was killed by 16-year-old Amin Hurst. The tipster told police that Hurst had killed 3 others before Hargrove.
I was able to make the apprehension for him and stop this madness that was happening in the city.
Hurst was ultimately convicted in November of 2024 to 55 to 110 years in prison for the 4 murders. Less than 1 year later, the tipster received a $20,000 check. It was one of 10 crime rewards the city paid in 2025, totaling $190,000. Since 2017, the city has paid 51 crime rewards totaling nearly $800,000. That's about 1% of the total homicide cases in that time. Philly police previously told us that the reason there's a low number of rewards is because they're not getting as many tips from the public as they would like. But tipsters say the crime reward process has been the problem. Since 2012, the city has had a standing reward of up to $20,000 for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of a homicide suspect. A 2023 NBC10 Investigators report found the reward system was broken. A series of stories over the last few years have shown that there was no formalized system tracking the tips, and if the informant got rejected at any point during the process, which starts with the detective in charge of the case and ends with the police commissioner, the city never officially told them, and there was no way to appeal the decision. Now, since our reporting, things have changed. The city is tracking the tips. If someone is denied a reward, they receive a rejection letter, and there is an appeals process.
The process got better.
The tipster we spoke with says this isn't their first crime reward. They were paid out twice before a few years ago. The tipster noticed one key difference this time around.
You can appeal it if you feel as though something is wrong in error.
If someone is denied a reward or did not receive an appropriate amount, they can appeal to the city's Board of Administrative Review. It's a process that started last year and that the NBC10 investigators saw firsthand. The tipster appealed their reward amount.
They advertise it on the police department's website as $20,000 for any homicide and every homicide that occurs in the city of Philadelphia, and that's for any individual that's killed.
They believe they should have received $80,000 because the tip they provided involved 4 murders. Earlier today, they received the board's appeal decision.
Awarded me additional $40,000.
The board determined that the tipster should have been paid for 3 of the 4 homicides Hurst was convicted of committing.
If they're trying to do right, the process is trying to get better, and I'm glad that you air these different articles so I can get the help and everybody can get the help that they need if they have an issue with anything.
Now, both the city and the tipster are allowed to appeal. They have 30 days to do so. The Philadelphia Police Department declined to comment for our story on the seemingly improved system, but sources inside PPD headquarters tell us that since we started reporting on some of the issues of tipsters not getting paid on time, the system has gotten more efficient. One source even told us, quote, let me read it over here. Your story brought light to an issue that needed to be resolved. We asked these people to put their lives on the line, end quote. For the investigators, Claudia Vargas, NBC10 News.